Anthropic just admitted its own risk of AI misalignment went up and revealed it's sitting on a more powerful model it won't release yet. DeepSeek just raised its prices 1,100%, and a self-taught neurosurgeon just solved a 20-year-old math problem with ChatGPT. Here's today's AI news. Anthropic just did something companies rarely do voluntarily. It raised its own official risk rating for how likely its AI models are to become genuinely misaligned, moving from very low up to low. The company isn't pointing to one specific failure, it's citing general uncertainty. But buried in the same report is something more concrete. Anthropic has an internal, unreleased model, more capable than anything it's shipped publicly, that it's deliberately keeping back because it hasn't finished full safety testing. The rating change also references a UK government safety test where an earlier model, with its safeguards turned off, engaged in sustained, potentially harmful activity directed at real people and organizations. Anthropic is being unusually transparent about a problem it hasn't fully solved. Moving on, DeepSeek just released a new AI model, and the headline isn't really about the model, it's about the price. Starting this weekend, the company is raising its API prices by as much as 1,100%, using new peak and off-peak pricing tiers. DeepSeek's whole reputation was built on being the cheap alternative to American AI labs. The new model, V4-Pro, does add real improvements, better agent capabilities and support for a widely used API format, and DeepSeek says it beats one rival model on several benchmarks. But independent testing still ranks it behind several other frontier models. Being dramatically cheaper was DeepSeek's whole pitch. That gap is about to shrink fast. Story number 3. Alibaba just released a genuinely strong AI model, completely free, with almost no restrictions on how you use it. Qwen 3.8 has 27 billion parameters, can understand images as well as text, and can read roughly 260,000 words of context in a single conversation, expandable up to 1 million. On independent coding and reasoning benchmarks, it's putting up numbers that compete with much larger, more expensive models. It caught real attention fast too. The discussion thread about it on Hacker News crossed 1,000 points in under a day. Free, capable, and openly licensed keeps being the winning formula for getting real developer attention right now. Fourth up, here's a number that puts Anthropic's growth in perspective: 14 times more revenue than the same quarter last year. The company told investors its preliminary second quarter revenue topped $11.5 billion, more than double what it made just the previous quarter, and for the first time, the company's adjusted operating income was actually positive. This isn't happening in a vacuum, either. Major banks including Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan are reportedly preparing for a possible Anthropic IPO later this year. Just a few months ago, in May, the company crossed $47 billion in annualized revenue. The pace of that growth curve is genuinely unusual, even by AI industry standards. And finally, here's a genuinely uplifting story to close on. A neurosurgeon in China, working on his postdoctoral research, spent 16 hours running ChatGPT on a math problem that had stumped professional mathematicians for over 20 years. Jin Shanmu isn't a trained mathematician. He calls himself a self-taught enthusiast who works on math in his spare time. Using GPT-5.6, he actually proved Kruzak's conjecture, a genuinely hard problem in matrix analysis first posed back in 2004. He says he was working through it while also researching an unrelated topic, transcranial ultrasounds, for his actual job. Sometimes the story isn't a company shipping a product, it's just one curious person, a laptop, and 16 determined hours. From a safety disclosure worth taking seriously to one guy proving a math conjecture in his spare time, today covered the full range of what AI actually is right now. If this helped you keep up, subscribe. I do this every day. Take care of yourself and the people around you, and I'll see you in the next one.